Hello, good morning. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning and I have a story, a true story to tell you. Yep. I don't know how you guys will want to take this video. It's up to you. You can take it however you guys want to take it. But I'm here to tell you that an experience that I have witnessed through a couple years ago, leading up to now. Now, I'm sure you can tell in the description title of this video that it's about a ghost story. Now, some of you might not believe in ghosts that much. I myself don't personally believe in them strongly myself, but when something happens that I cannot explain, it generally tends to be quite strange. And if I can't explain it, then I can't rule out the possibility of ghosts either, because there's so many things it probably could be and probably isn't. We just don't know. We don't have all the proof, but I can tell you how this story went down, going over the years, leading right up to what I have recently just found right now. So, first things first, let's start where I began with this experience. Almost about 5 years ago, I found out about an abandoned mental asylum in my hometown. This was around about the first time that I ever started exploring abandoned places. And so I went down by myself the first time to have a look at this amazing, lovely abandoned building. And it was good. It was a good experience to go and look at. So I thought, you know what, I'm coming back with some friends. And I did. Alright, so you can see we are ready. If you guys ever plan on exploring an abandoned building, especially at this sort of time, you need one of these masks. Do not go in one without one, because you do not know what you're breathing in. As you can see, I've given my friend one. I'm showing you your mask. I've given her one, so she's safe, and she's going to be recording with the GoPro, so we're now going to explore. The next time I came back, that was when things really took a spiral downhill to the paranormal side, is what some people would call it. Again, I'm not ruling out anything. I don't know what it could be. It could be anything, but at the same time, you have to watch this video all the way through to understand the level of which I'm talking about. Because in person, at the time, that was scary. But obviously you guys won't feel the same because you weren't there. You didn't see how we felt and how we dealt with it then. And I'm talking about this now because I don't think I properly did enough coverage on this. And so I want to get it out there in the open. I want people to know what we experienced while going through that place. Okay, it's not the biggest paranormal stuff you've ever seen on the internet, but it definitely goes to show that even though you think there isn't anything there, there could be the possibility. Basically what I'm saying is, don't rule out any idea of being negative about it when it could be right there in front of your face. You never know. So I go back with my friends to explore this abandoned asylum. Yeah, we can put our feet on the bricks here and step over, but it's a bit risky.
Yeah, I managed to fall in the water earlier. Coming down the stairs, I was trod on the door and it sank.
Do you guys what about you, Emma? Do you want to risk it?
I'll give it a go.
That light.
Guys, just so you know, this is what you're seeing down here when the light's off.
Fucking hell.
We go to an area of the building which is probably on the 2nd floor. And at this point, I'm literally putting my bag down on the floor to get a speaker out my box that at the time I thought was able to talk to spirits, but it turned out it was literally just a little blue speaker. I've got it somewhere, I could probably show you it. But anyway. I didn't even see this. I go to get the speaker out of the bag, and you can see that we're all standing still in the video. You can see we're all literally standing still, and you can tell the person holding the camera is moving the camera around, but you can tell that she's not walking.
This is Eve, it looks like? They're trying to summon.
And then all of a sudden you hear these footsteps in the background, and I can't tell whether that was explainable or not, but it definitely weren't us, and it was very strange. And at the time, in person, we didn't hear any of that. I did not hear any walking at all. It was like it came out of nowhere.
They're trying to summon it.
When I got home and I looked at that footage, that was when I was startled and surprised by what I had found. And I knew the other thing was still there on footage, but like I didn't know that the footsteps were in the audio. And that to me was quite strange. And so I go to get the speaker out of my box, obviously, and then the footsteps happen, which I don't hear, and then after that, we all hear this like loud, all of a sudden out of nowhere, this loud crash, and it was very strange.
You're going to get your spirit box out?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because it felt like the building had been shook, and then you can see us all get startled, and we're all very like, at the point we were scared that the building was falling down, but it wasn't the building. And then we couldn't explain it. We were all very freaked out at that point. It was starting to get dark. In the camera footage it looks very daylight, but in person it was starting to get very dark, because it was almost about probably 10 o'clock in the summer, and it's just the sun was just literally going down. Guys, we're not even joking, we just heard something up there.
Yeah, let's get it out.
No, I don't think it's in there.
So we go up to the 3rd floor to find out what the noise could have been. And when we went up there, there was nothing on the floor. No debris, no bricks, no nothing. And there were no holes in the roof. And we just couldn't find out what exactly was going on. And just then,
Yeah, I did hear something up there, you know, I'm not even kidding.
like that was a proper thud.
Yeah, there was. Like the fucking building. We were just focusing on it and it was just like that upstairs.
Oh my god. Are you shaking right now?
I heard something, I looked away.
Even she heard it.
I said it's my hearing aid. I thought it's my hearing aids.
That was literally just as I was looking for that.
Yeah.
At that instant. And at the funny same time, you spotted something go straight past my camera as I was snapping the picture.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I still went
Oh,
in the back.
shit.
I look like there's nothing on the floor. What was... What did I do? There is a hole, then that, nothing on the floor. No debris, no bricks, no nothing. And we just couldn't find out what exactly was going on. And so we realised, after we'd realised there was nothing on the floor, nothing had fell, at that point we were even more freaked out. The GoPro shows you a lot more better, that it was a lot more darker than when we went up there. And I think after that, we just didn't want to be in that building. We just like, nope, we're going. And we were just want to get out there and we were gone. Then that, okay, we're leaving the area now, guys.
Hang on, mate, I'm sort of stuck because something's got me. There we go.
That looks creepy though. Just look at that. On the way out of the building, I took a piece of footage from one of the other buildings that is across the land to another building, and this other building has no floors inside it. It's just the walls and the roof left. The floors inside that building had rotten away and fell down, and they were like literally non-existent, which you can see in another part of footage that I'll show you just now. Oh, there's also a bit soft there. But the thing is, I swept across with the camera and did this video shot, and this is where it leads up until now. I recently watched the footage back on a clip that I didn't put in to the YouTube video that I uploaded, and I forgot about that piece of footage for a very long time, and recently I just found the memory stick that had all that footage on it. It's still there. And I watched a clip, and it was the third floor from that building that has no floors. And there's this person, or a figure, whatever you like to call it. Couldn't be a person because there's no floor, but there's clearly someone looking through the window, looking down at the ground on the third floor in that video. And that creeps me out even more now because I know that there was no floor in that building, so it's impossible for anyone to stand there. And yet I've got this piece of footage of someone staring down at the ground from that window. And that is my story of that whole exploration. Now, it was a couple years ago that I just did that, and I would love to go back there now, but unfortunately the area is gone, as I'm showing you right now. It's completely gone. The original buildings are non-existent. They do not exist anymore there. The bell tower and the main office building still exists, but the bits that were there are completely gone. But after that experience, I went back alone on my own in the middle of the day in the winter. It was quite muggy, it was kind of like rainy sort of weather, and I went into that office building and there was a cellar, and we went down to that, I went down to that cellar, and I remember feeling like I was being watched. Like, I didn't feel like I wanted to be there, even though I was talking very calm and clear in that video. I just did not want to be down there. The chair in the middle of the room was very odd to me as well, why it was placed like that, and I didn't feel comfortable. And it wasn't just there, it was exploring that whole day on my own in the winter around that place, so I felt like I was being watched constantly. This is just a small basement. I guess this is where they would have stored stuff back in the day. And it's different because, like, when you feel like you're being watched by a person, you feel a bit more comfortable, but you know you're being watched. But with this, I just felt, I remember thinking that something didn't feel right, and I felt like my life was in danger being there, so I left after that. It was a pretty cold day that year. It was so cold and I couldn't be there any longer, and that's why I left. But I was very creeped out on that day as well, I couldn't explain it. And also back to the events when there was 4 of us exploring the building when the incident happened. There was also a lot of pentagrams painted on the floor, which were quite recent, and I couldn't explain that either. And they looked quite fresh, like they were painted with some sort of like dry goat blood or something like that. Could be any red substance, but I don't know. It was weird. You can see them in the video, the pentagrams. There were small ones painted around. And in one of these cellars of the tunnels underneath those buildings when they existed, there was also a dead dog or something with no head, which you'll see the skeleton remains of it in this, which I'm showing you right now.
Wow. How did we miss that?
Yeah.
I probably trod on it.
What?
Where is that?
Yeah, the rib cage.
Because you can see his back tail.
Yeah, the rib cage.
That's how I know it's a dog.
It did look like a frog. Quite a big frog.
I don't mean to be horrible. Can you move up a bit? Can I film in your ass?
Oh,
But with that being said, guys, that is my experience on this whole place that we explored. I can't explain what happened back then leading up to now, and to be honest, it drives me crazy trying to figure out what it was. Now, the whole point in me making this video is that I want to make people aware of my experience I had then, because I can't explain it, and I love to tell you guys my stories. Now guys, when you explore random places, you have to be careful. You have to. You don't know what's there. It's not just the building that could be dangerous. There could be homeless, and then there's, you know, people saying that there's paranormal stuff. Either way, it's a whole big massive recipe for disaster, and you shouldn't go in there unless you know what you're doing. And you definitely shouldn't go in there without wearing any masks over your face, because you could breathe in asbestos and any bad, you know, mould that's on the walls and stuff. But thankfully, we just got some of our own masks, which have our own logos on it now, which we'll be wearing to keep us safe in these buildings. But guys, thank you for watching this story, and I hope you've learned a bit about what we do and our experience of this, and there'll be more abandoned videos coming up soon, and there'll probably be more stories like this as well, who knows. If we do, I'll cover it just like I have now. But that's the end of the video, guys, and as always, peace out, have a beautiful time.